Hey everybody, it's Chris over at Dixieland Farm with Zach, Zeek.
What's up?
And Zeek and I have known each other for probably about 8 years now.
20 minutes in real life.
20 minutes in real life, you know. He's a great kisser, I'll let you know that.
You know what? It was everything I dreamed it would be.
So I figure what we can do here is, a lot of people don't get to tour the farm, that we're going to have Zeek do the tour with me and then ask questions or, you know, point out things that I just don't even pay attention to because I'm kind of used to all of this. So,
all right.
Here is the farm.
Awesome. It's beautiful.
There's my house. There's antenna that I've pointed out and the fence that I've painted that needs to be painted again.
It's a relaxing, gorgeous place, I can tell you. It reminds me of my home state of Indiana. It's a state of mind. It's a country state of mind.
Got a 1942 manure spreader here. You can see how often I've used it because the tree is growing through it.
It makes an incredible planter.
Somebody wanted it, and I'm like, no, you can't have it, and I should have just let him have it. Cause...
Now that's the classic, everybody who has a farm.
And I got my mower deck here that I just mowed recently. The Pride and Joy, the seed drill planter.
What year is this, Chris?
This, I have no idea. I'm going to guess the 70s or 80s.
They just don't make them like this anymore, Chris.
No, so this was a steel also. Used to have to borrow it from our seed distributor. They used to let me come and take it, and then I found this one on Craigslist for, you know, under $1,000. So it's much nicer to have your own because pastures are the whole thing, especially in the summer. If I want,
you bale your own hay, or
don't bale hay. Horse hay is much different than cow hay. It's got to be a certain amount of moisture and humidity. You can't have any mold on it at all. If they eat any moldy hay, they will die, the horses.
Oh, I see.
Cows can handle it because they've got the 4 stomachs, so you can give them completely black hay and they're totally fine. But you know, you got to dry it just right. You've got to bale it at a certain moisture content because if it has too much, it'll actually catch fire. So you got to know what you're doing. Then you've got to move it, and I've already blown out a shoulder by throwing hay.
Right.
So I don't like doing it.
You got to hire like stupid 11-year-old kids like I was.
Right, and no 11-year-old wants to do real work anymore.
Really?
Not like this, no.
Man, those were my first jobs, were bucking stalls and baling hay. And
well, they also didn't have, you know, Xbox or, you know, things to do at home. When you were a kid.
Man, I gotta mow those. I gotta go detassel that corn so I can make that $4 an hour.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing anymore. So Mountain Dew, right here, it's a lot bigger in person than it may look like. We used to have people come and get it, but that's been a problem lately. Mostly because what I just said in the video, that it's great on the pastures because of the chemicals in it, but not great to use for a garden.
Right.
I think if I'm doing the math right, 28 horses. 28 horses. I think the most we've had is 32 at a time, and least we've had is 23 or 24 at a time.
It's just beautiful out here.
Be careful of the electric. You don't want to touch that.
Oh, I used to touch it for fun when we were kids. You get really bored in the sticks, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, because it's summertime, it's the electric's a little bit weaker because of all the little weeds are actually kind of sucking some of the power out of it. But it also depends on where you touch it too. So this is kind of the end of the line.
Yeah.
So less voltage. If you were closer to the red barn over there,
it's been a while.
You're gonna feel all 5,000 of those volts.
It's been a while since I've felt that feeling.
It's just a tingle.
It was, you know, the little tingle we used to think was fun. I didn't know that when I was a kid, and I didn't know that, as a matter of fact, till you just told me that, although it makes sense. But when we felt it, it was always a little tingle.
Sure.
It didn't occur to me that I could have been feeling a lot more than that.
This
we were stupid.
This is our shack. This used to be a tobacco drying.
Okay.
And we keep hay in there, but it is, over time, stuff is happening to it. So parts of it are falling in, and I'm going to have to go in there with the tractor and just kind of pull it all down, I think.
Are you?
Yeah, I'll leave the main
people
part.
People buy the wood and stuff, or don't people buy the distressed wood and everything?
Well, we certainly got that.
I've heard that like designers want that to, you know, build stuff with.
Shiplap.
Yeah, right.
So here we are at the part of the season where we start getting this stuff called pigweed.
Of course that is.
Pigweed here is completely edible by the horses, but when you're walking in shorts
Uh-huh.
and that stuff gets tall enough, it hurts. It's pretty spiny.
Pigweed.
Pigweed. The stuff that we spray and the manure that's got the stuff that we spray will kind of cut down the pigweed. So we've actually used to have much worse pigweed around this time, so we've been pretty lucky.
But the horses like it.
The horses don't mind it. So
How many acres do you have here?
this is 25 acres.
This is beautiful.
So those are the mares over there. The mares are separated from the boys.
Okay.
It just makes things easier. No territory, no fighting each other. There is an actual Mustang out there back. Her name is Mustang Sally. Of course it is.
Yeah.
What else would it be?
Yeah.
So this is Monty. This is my horse.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Hi.
Hi, baby.
He's semi-retired.
Yep.
And that just happened this year. He was
Oh, yeah.
tacking around kids
Not anymore.
many years, but now his legs are starting to give out, so
Yeah, which
he's just
leg?
hanging out. All of them.
Oh, really? How old is he?
I think he's 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, right about the right time.
Beautiful.
One of the funny things about Monty, let me look at you real quick, is that he does something called cribbing.
Mm-hmm.
You see his teeth are kind of worn down.
Yeah.
So what he does is he grabs onto something and sucks in air, and that gets him high.
Really?
That's why horses do it.
No
They
kidding.
do it kind of nervous, but it also kind of gives them like a whippet sensation.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this dude spent a lot of time getting high.
Well, of course he does.
And-
you, if you were a horse, I mean.
But what ends up happening is you wear down your teeth. So we've got one horse that's actually got a collar. When he does it, it kind of chokes
really?
him. But we just didn't want to do that to him. We didn't want kids putting on the collar wrong.
Sure. Wow.
That's it, Monty. Most of our animals are named after the Simpsons.
Oh, nice.
So we got Monty. His show name is Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
We had a Homer.
Uh-huh.
We have. We used to have an Itchy and Scratchy,
Uh-huh.
but now we have a Carl, Lenny and Carl.
Lenny and Carl.
Yeah.
You know, my brother is like everything in life is something to do with like The Simpsons. He'd be like, this is just like that one episode where Moe got in trouble. Whatever. Like he sees the whole world as like in terms of The Simpsons.
Believe it or not, Buddy's even sweeter. Buddy kind of likes cuddling. Hi.
Hi.
That's it. If they're not interested in you, you don't have food.
Yeah, I understand that.
They're
Nothing
done.
personal. They're horses.
It's funny that it's August here. I've already got to think about planting winter, getting all that stuff. We just got our hay delivery for winter. I got to think about spreading the manure, when we're going to buy seed, figure out all of that stuff, and then we'll start working on cleaning up the fence line. You see all that growth.
Yeah.
So I need to trim that part back.
Hello.
This is Bear. He's less sweet, not ours.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
He apparently rolled. You can see the dirt on his back.
Yeah, I see that. Well, this was what I did in my first job.
So this one is not as pretty as the main barn. This is the red barn. This is where our horses are. The nice thing is that their heads can pop out.
Yeah.
We have one horse who didn't like being stalled.
Uh-huh.
Ended up cracking his skull.
Oh, no.
So he lives in here. He likes being able to put his head out, so it's fine.
Right.
And this barn, we estimate, was built in the 50s.
Okay.
And that window up top there, can we see it? Yeah, I still gotta close that up because when it snows to that window.
Did they ever keep hay up here? They never kept hay.
I think they kept hay up over here, and it's always a bad idea to store hay where the animals are because, as I was saying before, hay can spontaneously combust. I've known farmers that have lost buildings because the hay just catches fire.
Right.
So,
Because it gets really hot.
right, if it's baled
Yeah.
in properly.
Yeah, my first work that I did, paying work I ever did, was detasseling corn, baling hay, and mucking stalls. And other things along that, but those were the first jobs I ever had, you know. And just generally stacking hay and moving hay. And
It was
like,
for horses or?
well, I mean, in the fields, you know, it was just throwing it on the trucks, and I mean, that's the first time I ever drove a vehicle was like a farm truck.
Sure.
I wasn't old enough to. I was like barely old enough to reach the pedals, you know.
Was it a standard transmission?
No.
No, okay.
I don't. We never got out of first gear, to be
Okay.
honest with you. You know, you're going so slow, so I don't really recall. But I very much doubt that it was.
Okay.
I'm sure it was a stick. I mean.
Yeah, because farmers for some reason love standard
Well,
transmissions.
it was just an ancient, because
Yeah.
you're talking 30 years ago, first
Sure.
of all. Because I mean, I'm about to turn 42 tomorrow or
Yeah.
Sunday. So you're talking 30 years ago, and then it was 30 years old then. So
Sure.
now we're talking antique. I mean,
Yeah.
it had to have been old then, you know. When we put things in perspective, although, like I say, my sense of time just feels like yesterday. Especially as I'm here now.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like yesterday. I haven't lived in Indiana in decades, you know.
So this is a paddock, as you probably know, is kind of our sacrifice lot. In the winter, we can't have them out on the pasture because they'll just destroy that grass that we spent so much money and time trying to cultivate. So they go out on these sacrifice lots with round bales,
Right.
and that's what we feed during the winter time. And so right now it looks like, oh, there's plenty of grass. They'll trample this down all into mud and muck.
By the winter time.
Right.
Yeah.
So we do have one horse out here, Parker. He's got a sustained injury. Also likes to get in fights with other horses, so we keep him segregated.
That's him
So
right there.
that's him, and he's basically retired as well.
What is his breed?
I don't know. I'm gonna just assume quarter horse.
That's beautiful. You have cats?
Oh yeah. Well, let's see if we can find some of
I
them.
see a cat in the weeds over there.
Yeah, there's three of them.
You have 3 cats?
We've got 3 cats. Got Lenny, Carl, and Willie. And Willie because he's redhead. Yeah.
They're all sister. Lenny, Carl, okay.
Yeah. So Marissa's teaching a lesson here. She's got 3 students going on right now.
Okay, I see.
And then the tractor trailer is filled with hay.
Okay.
And we just got that delivery.
I've seen pictures of Marissa so many times.
Yeah. She's the pretty one on the ground.
Yeah. No, I know. I know which one she is. I recognize the haircut.
That IKEA tool set is the greatest thing. It's like $10 and it's like,
It's got
man,
what you need.
Man, I wish I had a ham. Oh yeah, we do.
It's got what you need.
This used to be a chandelier factory. It was
Really?
a cow barn at one point, and then some dude before the stalls. So the cows were in here, and this was actually raised. They would feed the cows in the middle. So this isn't as high as it looks when horses are in here. It's
Right.
up because there's a big cement pad, and that's what they would feed the horses,
Right.
cows rather. And then after that, chandelier factory. Some guy just used to weld in here and build custom chandeliers because occasionally we get mail like trying to sue the guy for something or other.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think anything was wrong with it. I think it was just people would just grab at anything, I guess. I don't know. And then somebody converted it into a cow horse farm,
Right.
built these stalls, and then I built a couple extra stalls.
You built? They had already built it.
They built most of the stalls, 2 over here that I built.
Okay.
So that was the farm. What do you think?
Thank you for the tour. It was beautiful. Beautiful. And thanks for your hospitality.
Thanks for coming out. Let's go eat.
Okay. I'm hungry. Let's do this.